Hello, you handsome humans, and welcome to step 2 of the Tribe Triangle. Now, last week, we took some time to explore and discover why culture is so important, why culture drives all of the sustainable success that we're looking for. This week, we're going to talk about what culture is. Big topic. So we're going to break it down to its most simplistic components. And that is the fact that there's basically two different versions or buckets of culture: pride and honor. Now, this is important to realize because you are the head of culture before you are anything else. And so understanding your behavior and beliefs which drive culture should be very intentional. And we actually have to have some knowledge and understanding so we can make those decisions, right? Choice is a function of awareness. So this is going to give us some awareness about these things. All right. So honor culture. This is our original operating system. Honor culture is tribe at its core. It is designed for groups of people, small groups of people, to be resilient and thrive in periods of adversity. Because this is established, you have to realize, 250,000 years ago. We've been running this operating system. And at that time, we were not the apex predator on planet Earth. We're actually very low-level scavengers. And if you look at the tooth sequencing on fossils from that time, you've got your big apex predators like the wolves who are killing the animals. Then you've got all the scavenger mark on top of those big tooth marks. Then you've got little vulture pecks on top of those scavengers. And after the vultures, Homo sapien butchery marks. So we were getting to the party late, and we were very grateful to get anything. That all changed when we started partnering with the wolf, but that's another story. The fact is that the operating system of honor was designed to survive in periods of great adversity. We were hunted and eaten. We were dealing with ice ages. We froze to death. We starved to death. It was a very, very challenging time. And that level of adversity drives collaboration. It drives commitment. It drives resiliency, and a sense of belonging is absolutely central. It also is the thing that drives initiation. Now, initiation is looping people into an existing operating system or culture. It's the way that we take lone wolves or individual people or children, and we install that operating system of our shared beliefs and our behaviors. This includes, obviously, a shared vision and mission and values and all the rest of these pieces connected to culture. So honor-based systems exist even in our current society, but they're in very isolated pockets. And honor-based cultures today can be witnessed when we look at professional sports teams, when we look at elite military units, when we look at Greek organizations, when we look at superhero movies. Those are all honor-based cultures, and you'll notice that they hold a much larger space than their actual numbers would represent, because we're obsessed with honor-based culture, because it's the solution to the things that we actually need. If you've been part of an honor-based culture, and it might have been a sports team when you were young, it might have been you were in the military, or you were part of some really connected group of people, you look back at those days as some of the best days in your life. And there's part of us that is unconsciously or consciously trying to recreate that sense of belonging. People who have never been part of an honor-based culture know that there's something missing in the world. And that's what Krishnamurti is talking about when he says, it is no measure of health to be well adapted to a profoundly sick society. And that is a sick society of pride. So at some point around agriculture, we started dealing with the starvation monster. We beat it. So now our tribes, which is basically an extended family, became villages. Those villages became cities. And we could no longer maintain the deep sense of interconnected, intimate relationships that power honor. It's hard to maintain honor-based cultures. We have to establish them, train them, and maintain them. And it's hard to do. That's why coaches, that's why leaders are so rare and so valuable if they're good. So our honor-based cultures eventually degraded and devolved into pride-based cultures. This is the self-reliant, independent individual. This is the lone wolf. Now, when you take a lone wolf or a lone human, they basically will drop into the same roadmap or destiny. They're going to become scavengers. They will also deal with all the downstream effects of a lack of belonging, and that's that anxiety and depression and addiction and suicide. Right? Most lone wolves don't last a year. They starve to death, and it's a very bleak way to go. And we can see that happening in today's culture with all these people who are surrounded by other humans and have 10,000 friends on social media, but no one to help them move, right? So we are living in a lone wolf culture. And this is part of our job as tribe leaders, is to be able to take these lone wolves and gather them together into something cohesive, something that is powerful and skillful and resilient enough that we can hunt game that is bigger than ourselves. This is the game of meaning and purpose and freedom that only exists in honor-based cultures. And next week, we're going to start that journey with creating your own foundation of alignment, which is, this is the core of the tribe triangle. So we'll see you out there.